and that attracted the sharks. That's why there were a lot of sharks around the island. Let me tell you that slavery lasted in Gorée Island from 1536 to 1848, more than 300 years. And during that time, there were about 15 to 20 million slaves coming from all over the African western coast. They transit through Gorée Island to America, and 6 million of them died because of bad treatment. 6 million. Very emotional, but he knows it's very, in a high level, the history and the relationships between Africa and other countries, and also he knows exactly what's happened between the 16th until 19th. I'm talking about the slavery and the Atlantic slavery.
Walking away from the island, there are some pretty paintings on the street walls. One must ask, what have these walls seen, or what cries have they heard over the last 300 years? Somehow, I don't want the real answers to that question. Maybe you do.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
Because when you go into public office, you must be ready to answer to the people.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, and use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues. It's arguably the most important slave trade era monument in Badagry. The point of no return is a huge draw for tourists visiting the coastal town. Most of the enslaved Africans or Nigerians who were traded during the transatlantic slave trade era were loaded onto ships from this port and taken to different parts of the world. For many tourists, the point of no return has some spiritual connection, and that is why it's a must-see for any tourist visiting Badagry. But the place is in total shambles and looks completely abandoned. Locals say the Lagos state government began rebuilding the monument some 8 years ago, but never completed it. And now it's been abandoned. The whole structure is rotting away and collapsing. Virtually all the smaller structures around the point of no return have collapsed. There is no inscription or write-up anywhere around telling the story of this important historic site. All this in a state that prides itself as a tourist destination.
It's a crying shame that this place is left like this. So imagine if tourists were to come here. There's just nothing, absolutely nothing to tell the story of this place. Nothing to show that this is the famous point of no return. It's just difficult to understand how we could abandon a monument as important as this in this manner.
It's quite very embarrassing looking at the way which the government, even though they've been advocating for tourism, on the need for us to invest in tourism, to encourage the citizens to participate and also encourage tourist activities. But the truth of the matter is that most of our tourist sites, they are not really strategically fine-tuned in a way to make it more attractive for tourists to come and spend time around. Well, I think this structure, it's more of like a white elephant project because it's very it's a waste. Because you can see now it's dilapidated, and I don't think they are going to continue with the construction of this structure. And this structure, I believe before the commencement of this structure, they should have come up with their plans to see how it's going to benefit and enhance and boost tourism within this community. But maybe they did not do their groundwork very well, so they had to stop it in the long run. It really breaks my heart because this is millions of naira wasted that possibly could have been ventured into another aspect of the tourism. But this is just like millions wasted, and there's no way they can retrieve this lost funds. And people coming down here to catch fun, and they tend to feel discouraged and embarrassed by the sight of these, most especially foreign nationals coming there to come and relax, or maybe to come for their research purposes. They're going to see Nigeria as a country that we are not serious.
Yards away from the point of no return, another abandoned project by the Lagos state government. Locals say this was supposed to be a guest chalet started during the governorship of Babatunde Fashola, but long abandoned. Even this paved road leading to the point of no return has not been completed. Most part of it is yet to be paved. Even in its terrible state, tourists still flock to the point of no return, but they often leave disappointed.
When I was in secondary school then, we came for an excursion here, but the place we went to was 4-story building, and then we were not opportune to come here because they were like, okay, we can't come here since we were young then. But coming now, at least, that was 2014, and this is 2024, let me say that's 10 years ago. So coming here now, and I was like, okay, land of no return, let me come and let me see how it looks like. But on getting to this place, it's very disappointing because there is no evidence, that there is nothing to show that, okay, this is an evidence to show that this is a land of no return. And even this building, I'm just guessing that maybe that is where the colonial master stays then, where they select the slaves and all those things. But I don't know, because there is no one to tell us the history, and it's very disappointing that they just let it go. Like, let me say, it's a waste. Anybody can come here and claim it as anything.
If this monument continues to rot away like it is at the moment, then it's only a matter of time before the point of no return completely disappears from this very spot.
He who does not know and does not know that he does not know, don't bother wasting your time with him. But he who does not know and knows that he does not know, please teach him. And so for those of you that do not know, that's why I'm back again teaching you understanding Lagos. Because even when you think you know Lagos like the palm of your hands, if you leave your pocket carelessly, they will pick it. If you think you know everything about land ownership and building in Lagos, if you do anyhow, your money will enter voicemail. Because the recent fire incidents in Dosemu area of Lagos State has once again brought to the fore the need to clear Lagos Island of building attachment to ensure not only ease of passage, but most importantly, this is the heart of the city, to bring it in compliance with building codes, environmental protection regulation, and safety standards. We all know there is a notorious fact that because of hunger and population increase, the city has been turned into a huge market scene. But must we destroy the aesthetics of the urban planning and environment and make a hell of the environment because we want to trade? How do you get approval for a simple story building and you put all kinds of attachment everywhere, including adding staircase in front and back, simply because people are looking for shops? Why do you need to block other road users from accessing a passage because you want to make money from someone who is looking for a small space? So you carve another small shanties like cupboard and attach to the house. We all want orderly society, but we are constantly destroying same. And when we are asked to correct, we throw ethnicity, tribe, religion, and tongue. Just take a look at how people are blocking access road with all kinds of shanties. Even banks are not excluded. I fear who no fear Lagosians. But I want to commend the Lagos State Building Control Agencies for putting its foot down and insisting on compliance with building codes, regulation, and standard. With this, they are assuring some of us that a more organized Lagos is possible. But I will just plead with them to extend this cleanup to plenty areas like, starting from my area, Gbagada, Oshodi, Ikorodu, Alimosho, Shogule, Bariga, Lekki area, even Victoria Island and Ikoyi, Shomoli, Ajangbadi, Alagbado, Iba, Trade Fair, Ebutemeta also. You can even add your own, anyone you remember. Lagos is just what we like, disorganization. Also, recently, the Lagos State government announced that 80% of the properties in Lekki have no approval. And yet, nobody has come out to dispute that obvious fact. So, you ask me, why would someone build a property in Lagos, modern day Lagos, without approval? The answer is not that far-fetched because the Lagos State government allows it. So now the state government has allowed it before, is now saying, we're giving you 90 days window, to come regularize. But I think that 90 days is short. We can extend it to 6 months. And like I said the last time, the Lagos State Building Control Agency and the Oga, architect Bola Hoki, they know they hear Abegsa. So Abegsa know their dictionary. So please, don't even irritate them with Abegsa because it irritates them and annoys them. So I beg, if you hear the name of this area, simply, please, for those of you living abroad, please, and those of you outside Lagos, I don't understand. If you hear the name of this area, tell your landlord or developer to face the Ministry of Physical Planning or Ministry of Environment before Lascar Boys and Architect Okigo visit you. Say that one, they don't come out in here, like I said, they tell you now. Orchid Road. Most properties in this area lack proper title and a lot have pending governor's consent. Yet, many don't build without approval and permit. And even some of them build on top of canal. So they will need drainage clearance from the Ministry of Environment. Ikota axis is almost the same thing with Orchid Road. Lekki Palm City, Badore, apart from incomplete documentation also, there are a lot of counterfeited certificate of occupancy and dubious governor's consent on properties in this area. Some of them are built on canal. Beware of Omonile in Monastery Road. It's attractive to a lot of investors now. This is a big red flag in land ownership in Lagos. And a lot of land in this area have questionable title and fraudulent gazette. Remember the last time I told you about flying coordinate. And also I hear that the land in this area belong to some kings who already have titles. So check very well who is selling to you. Some even have court cases. When buying land in Chevron Extension, be very careful, as there are a lot of fraudulent governor's consent and clone Ojomu deed of assignment in this area. While Lekki Extension has a lot of disputed certificate of occupancy and plenty court cases. So don't say I did not tell you. Ensure you scrutinize documents from a Ogombo community. Because even the community is currently reassessing documents due to fraudulent land sales. About Alpha Beach, Okomapo and Okuibeju, Sangotedo area behind Lagos Business School. Take note of fraudulent coordinates in these areas and fake gazettes from Omonile in these areas, because it is alarming. Don't say nobody didn't warn you. Imagine the back and forth recently between Lagos State Minister of Environment and the Mende Villa Estate on whether and when notices of removal were served on building built and blocking the right-of-way of System 1 Odoyalaro Canal, which the government said is the most strategic setback in Lagos established since 1974. And the resultant effect of removing those buildings around Mende, Ogudu, Ojota, and Evaron. For close to 50 years, some people were doing the wrong thing. But in a space of few months, everything changed. But be rest assured that you can no longer do the right things, wrong things indefinitely in Lagos. Because if you even manage doing for 50 days, you are lucky. So let us all do the right thing. Because as a lawyer, I would like me you comply instead of going to defend you or begin to plead. So I will therefore advocate also. There's need for a massive enlightenment campaign in Lagos on the importance of understanding building control, physical planning, and environmental protection awareness. Not just for consultants and stakeholders in the physical planning sector, but for the everyday market people and those at the grassroots level in Lagos to enable them understand the importance of not just complying, but the head benefit to all of us. There's also the need for a massive public education on land management and ownership in the state. The need for thorough scrutiny and the do's and don'ts on planning and approval should be known to all. While approved setback and layout should be strictly adhered to, at least this would give, would-be investors confidence in the process so they know what to do and what not to do. Lastly, appropriate sanctions like dismissals and prosecution should be meted out to state officials who aid consultants and developers to compromise the process. As also the consultants who compromise the process should also be reported to their various associations and the processes pursued to ensure that their licenses are suspended or in some cases revoked. That way, land information will not only be at your fingertip, but more serious-minded individuals who enjoys compliance and well-structured and organized environment will be willing to invest heavily in the state. Also, as an addendum, if you see someone building illegally and you fail to report, or till the illegality start affecting you before you start writing an anonymous petition to the state government, you are also culpable. The government should also investigate and query you. But when you see something, immediately say something and don't wait until that something affects everything. That way, we are not only stakeholders, but we all become gatekeepers. See you next week.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
Because when you go into public office, you must be ready to answer to the people.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome to the newsroom. I am Joy Uchejim, and these are the stories we're tracking at the moment. The Nigerian government has filed a fresh 16-count charge against former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. The charge filed before a federal capital territory high court in Abuja borders on criminal breach of trust to the tune of 110.4 billion naira. This is contrary to sections 96 and 311 of Penal Code laws of the Northern Nigeria, 1963, and punishable under section 312 of the same law.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, the truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
When you go into public office, you must be ready to answer to the people.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians have said in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the go-to app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course.
Even though it is considered that we have a so-called disability, we really are able persons with different abilities.
For society and development to be included of persons with disabilities, we need to have equal access to education and to knowledge and information. Yet, out of millions of publications each year, fewer than 5% are made available in accessible formats for visually impaired persons. In developing countries, an even smaller percentage of publications are available in accessible formats. The Marrakesh Treaty, as it is called, will greatly expand the availability of artistic and literary works in accessible forms, such as Braille, large print text, and audiobooks. This can make a real difference in the lives of the world's more than 300 million visually impaired persons.
At the end of the day, we must come together and make however and where we are in the world be a place of unification, because me being blind visually doesn't mean that I have to be blind spiritually. And someone being sighted doesn't mean that they should be blind of those things in the world that we need to fix. We have to have inclusion. Let us not become handicapped again, blind to the issues and the problems of those in need.
Akinola Olunowade is one of the big yam farmers in Kapam community. He grows his yam tubers in sacks and has 5 of such farms in the community. But all the farms are now gone, destroyed by the toxic pollutant of August 28.
I don't have any other thing to do now. I borrow money in the bank to do this project, sir. I cannot lie to you. I need help. I have 3 children in the university. Presently, as you are looking at me, and I need to pay their school fees. What will I do? What will I do? So I don't know what to do. That's why I'm pleading to the world. If anybody who can assist me to come up again, that you try and do it. And that you do it directly to me, not through any third party.
I am retired Lieutenant Colonel Dubagari. I retired to 2014 and I bought this place. Bought it 5 plots.
The retired Lieutenant Colonel grows grain and ginger in his 5-plot farm, but the farm is now decimated by the pollutant.
As you can see, this is ginger. The ginger was very greenish. It's not turning yellow. That means the chemical has affected it. Look at my corn. Like guinea corn now, you can see no one is surviving. All of them inside, they have dried up. Only the maize now is drying gradually. The granite there completely was gone. We have to remove it to plant beans. And so many things inside. I have a garden inside where I planted a lot of things. That is, I just have passion in farming. All my things are gone. Nothing to fall on now. We are supposed to be eating corn now, but look at the corn has gone to another thing. We have nothing to eat.
It's the same story for organic fertilizer producer and farmer Sunday Beth, whose 1-hectare grain farm is more or less now dead.
I am crying for the people who can assist us, because up to now, I've not seen the refinery people to come and see what the level of damage they damage our crop. So that is why I am crying for the assistance. Anybody that can assist us, so that we'll get what will feed the family and also see how we can revive the business.
The devastation goes beyond farmland. The residents say many of their livestock are dead, and many people in the community are now falling sick.
Many animals died. Chicken died. Even I have part of it on my phone here that I can show you if you want to see. So even the health implication, since that day, no day that I don't buy milk for my family to take. Because many of them have been complaining of chest pain, mouth bitterness, and the rest of it. I have bought roughly 1 carton of milk in my house to give to them.
The management of the refinery is yet to issue any official statement on the actual cause of the pollution. But the National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESRIA, says it may have been caused by ruptured pipes conveying hydrogen chloride. But one of the residents of the community, who is a retired environmental geologist, thinks he knows the exact cause of the pollution.
Greenhouse gas was released into the atmosphere that carry a lot of poisonous gases, chlorofluorocarbon, carbon monoxide, methane gas. They were all released into the atmosphere that came down as acid rain. That's what we call it in geology, acid rain, that descended on the community, which affected even human beings. Some of the residents here, their body started scratching. Some had a respiratory problem. They had to rush their children and wife to the hospital. Then in the morning, we noticed a lot of itching. And on the third day, we noticed that some of the livestock, like goat, chicken, they started dying. So we saw the toxicity, which even made the women to go and block the road to protect to the refinery, because they approached the management and it seemed that there was lip service.
This is a chemical substances that have entered, we inhale it and it has gone into the body. It's not something that you just, it go like, as you can see, it's killing this crop gradually. That is how it's killing human beings gradually.
The residents say their lives have now been badly impacted and that they would need help as soon as possible. They say the sooner the help they are seeking comes, the better for them and their community. But there's no question that full recovery for Kapam community will take a very long time.
It's been 42 years now since St. Ambrose's Catholic Secondary School was established by the Catholic Church before it was taken over by the government. Several students have passed through the four walls of the school, just as several administrative staff have come and gone. But the one thing that has remained largely unchanged is the infrastructure and teaching facilities in the school. Year by year, things got worse. Classroom buildings began giving way. The classrooms themselves became inconducive for both teaching and learning. Things were literally in an abject state.
We have been managing teaching even when the rain is falling, the rain will be falling inside the classroom. We cannot abandon teaching. At times we mass students together when there is no conducive classroom. During the tenure of the past principal, Mr. Ogumbadejo Fola. So when he came to the school, he discovered that things will not be going on like this. So many classrooms are leaking, some roofs have even off, some buildings are collapsed. The parents are not able to do anything concerning it. So we be folding hands. Then every year, the roofing have been taking away a lot of money. So he now decided to go spiritual by calling upon God. So every Thursday of every month, we used to gather together, spending 30 minutes, calling upon God. So we look for the names of some old students. We got the name from one of the old students called KK. We wrote their name on the pieces of paper. During the prayer time, we raised the name up. God to compel them to come.
Either by divine intervention or mere coincidence, something happened. One of the old students of the school decided to pay a visit. Multiple award-winning journalist Deji Bademosi graduated from the school 26 years ago as the senior prefect of the 1994 set.
I went there to do a story on the dilapidated state of the school. And there's a project we're actually doing, a project that I'm actually doing, known as Track Nigeria, being supported by the MacArthur Foundation. So the whole idea for me initially was to go there and highlight the dilapidated state of the school so that I could call the attention of the government to the situation there and to see if the government could at least come in there to help address the infrastructural problem there. But you know, when I got there, and because that's the school I actually attended myself, I was touched. And you know, I just felt rather than just tell the story and wait for the government to do something, that at least I could do something to help. I was really touched, and I decided, well, that at least we could do some renovation. So the whole idea was, okay, go there, renovate, and that was how it started.
An engineer was contracted to commence work on the site, but little did they know that the structure required more than the planned renovation due to the severity of the damage.
When I got there, all the foundation was already above the ground level, meaning that you can even be seeing the foundation footing already outside exposed, which anything can happen. The building can collapse at any time. After opening the space for the column and the second day, the building is weak already, even with the exposure of the foundation, I said. So one side of the classroom gave way immediately.
The only thing we could do to salvage the situation was to pull down the entire building and, build a new one. And for me, that was something really huge. It was not something that I had actually planned for, considering the cost implication. So I summoned courage and I said, you know what, okay, you guys go ahead, pull the building down, we'll put up a new building.
It was a tough decision, but certainly worth it. The reconstruction officially kicked off in August 2019 under the direct supervision of one of the alumni of the school.
We left here like 26 years ago. And there was no any kind of maintenance since we left. So I supervised the building right from the scratch to where it is today, all to the glory of God.
As the new building started to take shape, it was hard to ignore the remaining dilapidated blocks of classrooms and abandon them to decay.
As one building was getting completed, I looked at the situation again and I felt, well, we can do another one. So I said, you know what, I looked at my pulse and I said, well, maybe I could just try the second one. And then the second one came down. The old building now came down and we started work on the second one. And then the third one as well, one of the old students there came to me and said, look, supposing I provide blocks for the foundation, and then, build it up to lintel level, would you be able, would you mind to just take it over from there? And I was like, okay, let's see how it goes. Because I knew it was going to cost a lot of money, but, that was how the third building started. Then there was no plan to have a toilet. The school had no toilet. But then I felt, look, it wouldn't be nice at all to have these new buildings. You have the students there, and then they have no place to go ease themselves, and they have to make use of the bush. Again, I summoned courage, and I said, okay, you know what, let's put up a toilet facility there. And that was how the toilet facility came up. So right there now we have 10 toilets. I then thought, if you have a toilet, how then do you get water to service the toilet? And the school has no borehole. The school has a well that dries up during the dry season. And then, again, not planned for initially. Remember, I started by saying we wanted to do just one building. Not planned for. So I said, okay, let's get the borehole.
After the borehole, then came the landscaping and flooring of the school. As the school continued to get a facelift, it was almost unbelievable for staff and students who watched their wish become a reality.
It's a thing of joy to me. But on a daily basis, when I come to school, I have to look down and see the buildings, which is not common, it's one in town. I was made to know that there is no school that is having this type of building. No school. You see the restroom, you see the classroom, you see the offices, you see the type of furniture there. It is second to none, I must confess, and I'm very happy. In fact, about 5 teachers called me, "Sir, how can I get my transfer to your school?"
And we start everything together. You understand? The foundation, the building, the roofing, the plastering, the painting, and everything. I was there with them, being one of the host students. By the time our students see what is going on in the school, they were all happy. You understand? By the time we want to do little works there, I have to call them. This is your class. You are going to use this class. So what can you people do for us? And they were happy in helping us. Packing sand, gravel, you know, all these things, little things that they can do with joy. You know, in fact, they were happy doing it for us, being their school. And I believe by the time we are going for a new section now, we are going to have more students.
I felt so proud that at least I could contribute in my own little way to this present development. This project is single-handedly done by one person, a God-sent person, who is not a politician. He doesn't get free money from anywhere. He works hard to get his money, and he's not investing for any profit. Like I asked Deji, because we said, "Bro, what are you even doing this for?" He said, "Maurice, I'm doing it for God and for humanity's sake. That look, I don't need all these students for anything in my life. I don't need them to survive. I don't need them to get to any position. But someday, my children might need them." It's a very good thing. It's really done well. I feel so proud to be part of 94 set. I feel so proud to be a friend to Deji Bademosi for all what he's done. And I feel so proud to be part of this project.
The school, which was once looked down on, has now become a point of reference and top choice for people in the community.
Passing on the road, they were actually branching to see that could a better structure be on this school with what they have been seeing. So look at the design, look at the space that we managed to get what we have, and a very spacious classroom, corridor with a staircase that can ease the going and coming of the students. So it's in fact, the facility that is there make it far better.
The only thing that makes me happy is that these students will now learn in a good environment. And this will also enhance their quick grasp of whatever is being taught in school, makes them relax. You are safe. They feel safe now. I think the last time we went there, we saw the building. I couldn't imagine how they could understand what the teacher is saying. But one, you're not sitting well. You're either standing and you're receiving your lecture, or you're sitting with somebody. But with what we have on ground, I think the student will be happy, will learn well in that good environment.
Many young ones now, they are planning to come to St. Ambrose. Before, You see some parents, when they are passing by, they used to say, that's what we used to say it in our language. Keep back. I myself then, I cannot say this is my school. But now I can boast. This is the school I pass out from. So I'm very, very happy, and I'm using this medium to thank the departments for what he has done for our school. He rebuilt our school, and God will rebuild his life.
With the junior classes, also referred to as downhill, now wearing a new look, the school authority, in addition to their great show of appreciation, are appealing for the extension of this gesture to the senior secondary classes of the school as well.
Permit me to ask like an Oliver twist. If this structure could continue to the senior section, it will be very good. Not as somebody living in a modern building, coming to a leaking classroom, a classroom where there's no fan, a classroom where there's no, in fact, dusty, stinking, rotten chairs. The chalkboard is even not good. It will not be so good. Permit me to tell you that we don't have laboratories in the school. Every classroom in this school is leaking. It's dusty, smelling. I'm sorry I'm using these words, but if you care to look at them, you will not like them. So will it be for a student that is graduating from junior section to senior section? It will be demoralizing.
For the man who has single-handedly done all of these, his primary goal is to pass a strong message across to the government, old students, and the general public.
My hope and intention is that when the government or the governor, if the governor comes to commission this, that when he comes, he would at least see what an old student has done, and then that could serve as some kind of motivation for the government now to do something, and not just for the government now to do something, but also important for other old students to take a cue. I mean, those who have been blessed to at least take a cue. And what I tell people is, I'm not a rich person. I'm not rich. It cost me so much, and but you really don't have to be rich to do certain things. So as an old student, even if it's just a block or two you're able to contribute, that would go a long way. And also very important is that people have always said journalists always take, they don't give. And this is to disprove that journalists we don't just report situations. So sometimes, journalism could make you do some very unexpected things. Do I plan to do more in the future? Yes, by the special grace of God, because to some extent, we are actually the government. So whatever, as individuals, whether individuals or collectives, not in government, whatever it is we can do to help make our society better, we should do it.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
Because when you go into public office, you must be ready to answer to the people.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world. A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Hi, I'm Ayofela Larinde. I'm a visual artist and a photographer, but I major mainly in scribble art, which I see as an art form born out of frustration. My very first scribble painting was done based on frustration. I was at Artist Connect in 2015, where I was challenged to actually do an art piece, and I felt really frustrated because around that time I was just using pencil to work and I was handed a pen to draw. So I just started doing jaga jaga, trying to find something from it, and then along the line I realized I was actually just making sense. I could see a face in the painting I was doing. So I realized that there was something called scribble art later on when I researched on what I had done at the Artist Connect. Scribble art basically, like I said, is an art form born out of frustration and me wanting to accept myself, me just accepting my flaws, and me also creating sense out of nonsense and using disharmony to actually form harmony. So it's more of like me joining crooked lines together to actually make sense. It's just wobbling lines around to actually form something, to actually arrive at a point. I can remember far back as secondary school in SS1. I was in biology. I was a science student in biology class then. I needed to make some extra money for pocket money. I was in the boarding house then, and I could draw from my textbook. I could imitate things I could see. So my friends used to give me their works, biology assignments, to draw skeletons and everything. So most times whenever we have assignments, I'm the one they come to. So I used to do it, and then I got into trouble. The biology teacher caught me, realized that all the works were looking alike, and then she called me to the staff room. Around that time, the visual arts teacher too was around, so he saw what was going on and was like, this girl can draw, she can even shade. Okay, she should actually come around to the visual arts class. So I enrolled for the visual art vocational studies then. I was doing science and I was also doing art on the side. So I started developing interest because art to me was just for fun. I didn't really know that I had the gift. I just knew that, okay, I could just draw things, and I realized that most of the times when I draw, it was basically from what I was feeling at that time, or basically because I just wanted to feel good. So yeah, that was basically how I started doing art. Initially, my inspiration basically was only from myself. I was inspired by my own journey through life, but along the line, I started gaining more interest in things around me. I started gaining more interest in history. I gained more interest in my environment. I gained interest in my friends, like their stories, and yeah, governments too. I get interested. I'm interested in politics, the political aspect of Nigeria and the world as a whole. Achievement. Okay, first off, I think being an artist first is an achievement for me, because people are destined. People are born for greatness, yes, and people have been given different skills. Some people do hairdressing, some people do makeup, some people dance and all of that. But I'm really thankful to God for this gift that I have, which is art. So I see that as an achievement because it consoles me, it fills me up. And then secondly, I was nominated for the Future Awards Africa last year, which was very, very surprising because I was nominated beside the people I see as my bosses. So like being around those people and being the youngest amongst them was quite overwhelming. And then I got some other nominations from Leading Women's Africa. I was 1 out of 100 Leading Women's Africa, most inspiring women in the world. So like that's like the major highlights for like the awards I've won. There's also the one for creativity, most creative students in the whole of Unilag. There's one for most creative students in Africa, and yeah. Weirdly, I actually don't even count the number of artworks, but I have a list which I used to collate them. But I would say in my lifetime, I would say that I've created more than 500 works. I dance. Before I started doing art, I used to dance. Actually, dancing was my first love. I used to dance professionally, but I had to stop because my parents didn't see it as a career as much as also the way they didn't see art as a career. So I had to just stop dancing, but it's something that I still wish to go back. And aside dancing, I also am a photographer. I take pictures. I also do short films. Scribble art is something that I have mastered over time. It's something that I've practiced. Something that I can even do in my sleep, not even exaggerate. So like most times it's really not difficult because I'm the kind of person who sees or who gains inspiration from dreams. So there are sometimes when I'm asleep and then ideas just come and next thing I wake up, I draw. I already know what I want to do. And then there are times when it is actually very difficult, times when my works actually challenge me. I do some particular works and it speaks to me in ways that I can't even explain. So times like that, I give the piece a particular period, say a year, before I go back to it. So there are times when my pieces challenge me, like when I'm doing something very personal. For example, when I had an artwork done for my biological dad, it was really attacking because it just laid down questions that I couldn't answer personally. A scribble artist, my own process is, right, there's no direct path. It's usually in a scribbled form. Scribbled form is meaning it's a jaga jaga form. Because I'm seen as a jaga jaga artist, like I said. They see me as one person that just does nonsense to actually make sense. So most times I twist and twirl before I actually make a point. Twist and twirl in the sense that I can decide to just get a sketchbook, and then from a point I'm doing jargons all over, just doing jargons, not making any sense. And then it gets to a point where I actually realize what I am trying to do, the message I'm trying to pass across, and then I start building on that particular piece. So from that point, I'm already forming an image. I never finish an artwork. I never see it as a finished work. I feel like whenever I create an art piece, there's always going to be a continuation. And most times, it is when people get like buy the works off me that I call it finished, because I no longer have it in my possession. But like sometimes I break down pieces into series because I can't finish one on a particular canvas, so I have to continue on another canvas. That is where that's why there's need for collection or series when I'm working. So, for example, my Igbo landing works, this one behind me here, it's actually a series, a 5-in-1 series. Jean-Michel Basquiat actually indirectly influences my style. He's a new expressionist. I also have interest in expressionism. I like his method, and I feel like his approach towards creating has influenced me in so many ways, because like I said earlier, I basically just approach the canvas and I see drawing on the canvas as me learning. I see it as an opportunity to learn. So whenever I draw, whenever I scribble, it's more like I'm actually learning. So that is how it is for Basquiat. So whenever he approaches his canvas, just basically scribbles paint around. He scribbles paint around, and while doing that, he figures out some things about what he's doing. So I think that's the same thing, because I see art as a learning process. So he has impacted me in that form. Although Basquiat is dead, but yeah, I still look up to him a lot. Challenges I faced as an artist. At first it was acceptance. I was really chasing acceptance, and I realized that at the point when I started getting accepted, I started losing myself, because I wasn't, basically it felt like I was just doing works just to please people, just to please people's satisfactions. And around that time I was doing that because I was doing realism works. I was drawing faces realistically. And then I realized that I wanted something more, and in the process I started doing my own thing. I started doing scribble art. So yeah, at first it was acceptance, then there was the financial aspect. I mean, it takes a lot to get art materials, it takes a lot to get a studio. I got the studio late last year with my friend Bayo, which I currently share it with. There's also the whole art scene in Nigeria. It's not so encouraging, because I feel like they keep recycling old artists or dead artists, and they are actually emerging artists doing so well. I have friends around that practice so well, they practice so hard, the works actually speaks to me, and it speaks to a lot of people, and I feel like there should be room for them too, but it's kind of not so easy because there's politics everywhere, there's politics in the art scene. My plans actually change over time, because I'm human, I grow, and I realize that sometimes I actually want stuff bigger, and sometimes I want stuff a little more subtle, right? So currently I would like to actually have a hub where people like me wouldn't get the opportunity to create, wouldn't get the opportunity to study what they wanted to study, can actually come around and feel at home. People who probably find themselves doing things they really don't want to do can actually come home and meet other people, network, create. So there's going to be an art school, there's going to be a dance school, basically a creative hub where people can come around and learn. So that is like my dream. I would like to own a hub where people can do that, expose new talents, encourage them. And currently I've started doing that little by little with my NGO. It's called Charity with Arts. We go to the streets or we go to orphanages and then we teach kids how to draw. We don't only just feed them or give them clothes, we also teach them, because I feel like once you have a skill, you already have a weapon, or you have your passports to the world, like to travel the world. So basically we just impact that knowledge and get them to practice more.
first thing that came to my mind was thinking about what I could do that was very big, that would push my talents, my abilities to the limit. And then in what way can I do that would also create a large impact, that would also change the lives of people. And that's why I decided to break the record in this direction. That way we're not just breaking a record, but we're also making impact. We're also trying to enlighten people. We're also trying to foster understanding between Nigerians. It's all about unity and diversity, which is the name of the artwork. Something that celebrates our culture, something that reminds us of our culture and reminds us that there's strength in our diversity. There's so much to learn from one another, and it creates this sense of, makes you more welcoming, makes you more tolerant. It expands your horizon, and there's so much strength that can be gotten from that. It's been 9 years in the making. This idea first came up in 2015. We weren't able to do it because of it was a very expensive record. The sheer size of the canvas alone and the materials and everything it was a challenge getting all of that until about last year when we got our sponsor Stolaram, who decided to take care of all of that for us. And then the next challenge was the venue, which the Lagos State government supported us with. And then after that, we started looking for other things, and it pretty much got easier from that point. The next challenge was, it's been for the past 4 days we've been here. It's not been easy. It's been very difficult. It's much more than I expected, much more than I anticipated. So I can't wait for it to be done.
Very, very impressive, very exciting. Whenever I see people challenging or trying to do this, I'm excited. You could see, and this is even more peculiar because of the theme, unity and diversity. Trying to do this for days now. This is the spirit, entrepreneurial spirit of Nigerian youth today.
That's a perfect theme. Nigeria should stay together. All the tribes, unity in diversity, and all this. Everyone should stay together. The ethnic groups should stay together and work together as one country.
This is something huge. This is something big for Africa. This is something big for Nigeria. This is something big for Lagos. And I'm really proud and happy that it's coming from my brother and friend. The whole world is on shutdown right now, rooting for Fola David. We are proud of him. We are proud of what he has done. It has shown that outside music, outside comedy, outside movies, outside sport, there are people, there are other sectors that needs recognition, like artists like this. And we're proud of what he's doing. I'm proud of him, man.
Is landing Nigeria on a very high pedestal, and trust me, as far as I'm concerned, my kids dragged me here today because my son was actually asking that how is it possible to merge two professions at the same time. So when my son heard, he's just 5, and it's like, oh, how come he's a doctor and he's also an artist? Like, how is that possible? They want to see. And I told myself, I have to drive all the way from Ibadan to be present here today. Trust me, I am super happy this is happening to us. One win for one is one win for all at the end of the day, yeah.
It's one thing for one to be very daring, but to be daring to an extent where you're trying to do something where you're talking of a Guinness Book of Records, then it means that you have a bigger balls. First of all, I think that Fola has been a special person. If you think about how he has transitioned from being a medical doctor now to showing his crafts, and then he's doing what he's doing now. It's something I'm quite happy about. I'm very proud of him. He's my man. I like him so much. And he's somebody who is very, very driven. So I'm not surprised that he's doing this today.
Start of a vast overhaul, a reshaping of the Nigerian narratives through art paintings, and I'm highly impressed. It's a good time to be alive, to witness such an amazing thing, breaking the world record and telling the Nigerian story.
This is actually a very, very beautiful one. I'm so excited because Fola David is someone I know personally, for a number of years, now. And then, I've been able to witness firsthand his tenacity, his diligence. So I'm really happy that this is actually happening on a very, very big scale. And this is saying congratulations to you, Fola. God bless you.
First of all, I want to compliment Fola Davis. This is very huge. I think this is nice to see that we're always breaking records, and he's doing something that is very inspiring. Again, very huge because you can hear the support from everyone here, and you can see how massive this is. The world's largest painting, I think, is amazing.
It's important that we know from every part of the country that we're one Nigeria, right? So what he's doing today is depicting what it means to be one Nigeria, right? From the west, from the south, from the east, or from the north, right? We are one, and that's what he's doing, right? No one is going to say that this is an Igbo or an Hausa or Yoruba accomplishment. It's a Nigerian accomplishment. It's a Nigerian breaking the record.
It's an inspiring one, and it's very, very creative because I feel like this is going to put Nigeria on the map again, and also the Nigerian arts also. And I'm proud of Fola David, of course, and I want to commend him for that.
I'm happy this is happening, and I'm happy it's happening in Lagos. I mean, this is Lagos. If such a feat is going to happen, it must happen in Lagos, which is why I'm here, Commissioner for Youth and Social Development, to give support to my brother, Dr. Fola. And just the turnout is encouraging, but most importantly is to drive home the message of our administration of Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, where we're leaving no one behind. This is a creative economy, right? We have different youths in different, sectors doing great things. We have the gig economy, we have the creative economy, we have the sports economy. Irrespective of wherever you find yourself, we will always come out to give you the support that you need, because, the sky is our foundation, right? And our Things Plus agenda, social inclusion, gender equality, and the youth. And this is what it's all about.
An amazing team, unity in diversity, because the way Nigeria is right now, we have a lot of people that are that feel like we're not united, but this kind of like reestablished that fact that we have people that are from different tribes, and we love working together. We have Igbo people here, we have Yoruba. In fact, on the media team, we have several guys from different tribes working together, and everybody is working with the same mindset, with one uniform goal of making sure that we see to it that Fola David gets to beat the world record for largest drawing in the world.
Achieving the goal, I feel blessed. But you see, for every other thing happening, I'm very surprised. I didn't think it was gonna happen. I know I wanted to do the drawing.
Hello and welcome back to the newsroom. I'm Joy Otejim and these are the headlines we're tracking at the moment. About 11 persons comprising men, women and children have lost their lives following cholera outbreak in Indi-Bukote village in Izi local government area in Ebonyi State. The cholera outbreak, which was said to have started on Monday 23rd September 2024, equally claimed the life of a nursing mother who left behind her 9-month-old baby. And Benue State government says it has mobilized traditional rulers, religious leaders, media, and other critical stakeholders to ensure an effective emergency response to mitigate the effects of the impending flood disaster in the state. The collaborative effort among stakeholders is geared towards protecting lives and property by downscaling early warning and mitigating messages to the grassroots ahead of the flooding. And the Nigerian government, through its Ministry of Finance, has said it has made a second tranche of payments to about 1 million beneficiaries of its cash-based social investment program. The ministry, however, did not provide details of the actual beneficiary spread and the amount involved. The claim was made at a meeting of the Presidential Panel on the Social Investment Program, led by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun. And as part of ongoing efforts to strengthen security in the country, the Nigerian Army has commenced a 3-day capacity building training for senior officers at the 6th Division headquarters in Port Harcourt. The cadre training is designed to enhance tactical demand and leadership skills through effective operations planning. And on business, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has approved another sale of foreign exchange to eligible bureau de change operators at 1,590 naira per dollar to meet the demand for invisible transactions. CBN announced on Wednesday that it will sell $20,000 at the rate of 1,590 naira per dollar to each BDCs in a circular titled Sales of Foreign Exchange to BDCs to meet retail market demand for eligible invisible transactions, and signed by Kanya, the Acting Director, Trade and Exchange Department. And on the foreign scene, at least 46 people, including 37 children, have drowned while celebrating Hindu festival in eastern India, local government officials told journalists on Thursday. The 46 drowned in separate incidents in Bihar state while ritually bathing in rivers and ponds swollen by recent flooding, according to an official from the Bihar Disaster Management Department. The drownings occurred on Tuesday and Wednesday across 15 districts of Bihar state as devotees marked the Jitiya Parv Hindu festival, observed by mothers for the well-being of their children. And finally on sports, Manchester City will face Tottenham in the 4th round of the English League Cup final. The draw was made on Wednesday after the 3rd round games, and Man City's game will be a repeat of the 2020/2021 League Cup final, which Pep Guardiola's side won 1-0 thanks to an Aymeric Laporte header. Elsewhere, Brighton will take on Liverpool, while Manchester United host Leicester City. And these are the major stories from our newsroom at this moment. We'll update you at the top of the hour with more stories. I'm Joe J. See you next time.
Madam, madam, welcome. Okay, madam, no worry. When you deliver the balance, we'll give you the goods.
No problem, no problem. All right, so now well done.
Thank you. Hey, Oga, I still say she don't bring money. Maybe we'll use this one for her now. She wants mahogany, not white wood. Oga, our work now to join wood together, deliver whatever to customer. Put the remaining profit for pocket.
Abba, this is corruption, not in my country. Corruption, not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Akinola Olunowade is one of the big yam farmers in Kapam community. He grows his yam tubers in sacks and has 5 of such farms in the community. But all the farms are now gone, destroyed by the toxic pollutant of August 28.
I don't have any other thing to do now. I borrow money in the bank to do this project, sir. I cannot lie to you. I need help. I have 3 children in the university. Presently, as you are looking at me, and I need to pay their school fees. What will I do? What will I do? So I don't know what to do. That's why I'm pleading to the world. If anybody who can assist me to come up again, that you try and do it. And that you do it directly to me, not through any third party.
I am retired Lieutenant Colonel Dubagari. I retired to 2014 and I bought this place. Bought it 5 plots.
The retired Lieutenant Colonel grows grain and ginger in his 5-plot farm. But the farm is now decimated by the pollutant.
As you can see, this is ginger. The ginger was very greenish. It's not turning yellow. That means the chemical has affected it. Look at my corn. Like Guinea corn now, you can see no one is surviving. All of the inside, they have dried up. Only the maize now is drying gradually. The granite there completely was gone. We have to remove it to plant beans. And so many things inside. I have a garden inside where I plant a lot of things. That is, I just have passion in farming. All my things are gone. Nothing to fall on now. We are supposed to be eating corn now, but look at the corn has gone to another thing. We have nothing to eat.
It's the same story for organic fertilizer producer and farmer Sunday Beth, whose 1-hectare grain farm is more or less now dead.
I am crying for the people who can assist us, because up to now, I've not seen the refinery people to come and see what the level of damage they damage our crop. So that is why I am crying for the assistance. Anybody that can assist us, so that we'll get what will feed the family and also see how we can revive the business.
The devastation goes beyond farmland. The residents say many of their livestock are dead, and many people in the community are now falling sick.
Many animals died. Chicken died. Even I have part of it on my phone here that I can show you if you want to see. So even the health implication, since that day, no day that I don't buy milk for my family to take. Because many of them have been complaining of chest pain, mouth bitterness, and the rest of it. I have bought roughly 1 carton of milk in my house to give to them.
The management of the refinery is yet to issue any official statement on the actual cause of the pollution. But the National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESRIA, says it may have been caused by ruptured pipes conveying hydrogen chloride. But one of the residents of the community, who is a retired environmental geologist, thinks he knows the exact cause of the pollution.
Greenhouse gas was released into the atmosphere that carry a lot of poisonous gases, chlorofluorocarbon, carbon monoxide, methane gas. They were all released into the atmosphere that came down as acid rain. That's what we call it in geology, acid rain, that descended on the community, which affected even human beings. Some of the residents here, their body started scratching. Some had a respiratory problem. They had to rush their children and wife to the hospital. Then in the morning, we noticed a lot of itching. And on the 3rd day, we noticed that some of the livestock, like goat, chicken, they started dying. So we saw the toxicity, which even made the women to go and block the road to protect to the refinery, because they approached the management and it seemed that there was lip service.
This is a chemical substances that have entered. We inhale it and it has gone into the body. It's not something that you just... It go like, as you can see, it's killing this crop gradually. That is how it's killing human beings gradually.
The residents say their lives have now been badly impacted and that they would need help as soon as possible. They say the sooner the help they are seeking comes, the better for them and their community. But there's no question that full recovery for Kapam community will take a very long time.
and welcome to another episode of Lagos Voices. I am Sydney Okafor. Access to essential infrastructure services such as clean water, sanitation, healthcare, education, and reliable energy improves the quality of life for individuals and communities. For residents of Moshi and its environment, such infrastructure has been erected and unveiled by the Lagos State government. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu officially unveiled the last 5 of the overpass bridge promised by his administration to Lagosians. Some of them that spoke with us about this flyover bridge have this to say.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has officially opened the last of the 5 flyover bridges promised by the state government, which was erected along the Red Line rail corridors undertaken by the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, LAMATA. The flyover bridge that has separated pedestrian and vehicular interference on the rail tracks to avoid risk of accidents and collisions between trains and vehicles. At the unveiling ceremony, Sanwo-Olu said the opening of the Moshi flyover was another fulfillment of his administration to Lagosians that will change the face of public transport in the state.
Vehicles have lost a lot of tires, they've lost a lot of livelihood just attempting to navigate that. With this infrastructure, all of that has been put behind us. But more importantly, is our solution to ensure that there is minimal disruption on the Red Line corridor. And so that is why this overpass is strategically important. We have delivered Agege Pen Cinema, we have delivered the Keja overpass, we have delivered the Yaba overpass, we have delivered the Oyinbo overpass. Now this is the Moshi Onipan overpass. And so for us, it's about keeping faith with our citizens. It's about ensuring that we can make this place a lot better for them and make it a lot better than we met it.
We had to deliver 4 overpasses, and this is the last one out of the 4. I really don't think today is a day for speeches. It is just a day for us to acknowledge the work that has been done by the state, to also acknowledge those who have partnered with us, the community, because we couldn't have done this without the support of the community, and we thank you. The Nigerian Railway Corporation, because we're crossing over their track, the House of Assembly, who have supported us from the very beginning of this project.
Residents in the state confirmed the infrastructure has brought traffic relief to motorists and commuters connecting Agege Motor Road from Onipan.
Before the bridge, it has been quite very busy. You know, there used to be roadside marketers and all. Then traffic on this road, on this highway, has been very heavy. But after the completion of the bridge, you can see that even there is no traffic right now. And then the bridge gives access to Moshi directly. And then you don't have to go under the bridge. I mean, there are some streets, there are some roads that you can get to from under the bridge. But, and then it makes traffic heavier, or it made traffic heavier because some people were directly going down to Moshi. But with this bridge, I mean, everybody has his own routes. You're either going under the bridge or you're going above the bridge. And then it has given those roadside marketers at least some space to hustle. So I think that's some benefit. Oh well, yes, literally we pay taxes, so we are entitled to things like this. But anyways, thanks to the government for doing things like this. I found out over time that people here have serious issues accessing and getting health care, and then it's been terrible. Of course, yes. I mean, we have a federal hospital around Moshi. That's the Lagos Investigation Hospital. So if there was an emergency, of course, this bridge will have made it. It will make it so much easier and swifter to get there. So this bridge has been very, very useful. In fact, has made life a lot easier for all of us here, thanks to the government.
You know, for the first instance, we have to thank government for them to bring this kind of development to this area. Though we have been expecting such thing in this area so that more development can take place. For instance, now look at this building here. So Boku, this supermarket have acquired the place. So for them to acquire this place now, that means that more development will soon come up ahead. Now, for this very bridge to be in existence of this environment, that show that in a few years to come, more development will soon arrive to the environment. There's no market here. It is only this Kayode street that they are used to be marketing there. But for now, with this kind of bridge here now, we have a marketplace there. That's our market. So for this kind of bridge to be in this environment, that shows that this very market around here will be more, people will patronize them more.
While appreciating the state government's efforts, they called for immediate repairs of street lights and other road infrastructure within the community.
Also, from outside, we first of all thank the Lagos State government for this project. We have been hearing it when I was so young, because I was born in the street. We have been hearing that there will be a crossover from Kayode to Gumokun. But thank God that the celebrity Mr. Abajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu brought it to rocks. And what I can say is that the project is so fantastic to the people of this area and other area, because before, if we are going to Kayode, we have to go and pass the Ilokoji bypass before we can get to Kayode with car. But now, as you can see, when I'm going to Kayode, now, if I can board a box here, within 2-3 minutes, I'll get there and came back. So, I will say a big 10 kill to Lagos State government. And I will plead to them to complete this road, link to Aige Motor Road and the Ikorodu Road. So the road will be so more perfect.
My own opinion for this road is that they should do a roundabout to this road and a traffic light to make it easy for people turning here to avoid accidents. And this road has been good for people living around here because it makes it easy for them. People going down to Onipan, going to Shomolu, it's easy for them to go. We say thank you to the government, and the other way around, please, the government will help us find solution to what is happening in Nigeria. This fuel, about the fuel, the food, hunger is too much in this country. They should help us do something about it. It has been helping to boost business. People are moving here constantly now, so it makes business move properly. It was not okay, but now the government has done well. You know that this road now makes, I don't know how to even put it. This road has made, the road is very bad that time, and it's not making business moving well here. Now that the road has been done, people are moving here. It's just easing access to people.
Before the Mushin flyover was completed, the Sanwo-Olu administration had opened 4 other bridges in Yaba, Oyigbo, Ikeja and Agege to create new connectivity along the Lagos Rail Mass Transit Red Line, which spans 37 kilometers from Agbado to Oyigbo. The governor charged the residents to take ownership of the infrastructure and protect it from deliberate destruction.
Congratulations to the people that reside in that part of the state. This overpass bridge will really assist to ease traffic in that suburb. All right, our next story is on the Onje Eco, an initiative by Lagos State government to provide a varieties of food items to residents at a discount of 25%. It is meant to bring succor to residents of states in the midst of rising food prices in the country. This laudable initiative came into effect due to the economic downturn that led to hunger across the nation. Now, let's take a listen to what Lagos State's resident has to say about Onje Eko initiative that holds every Sunday exactly around 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
In March 2024, the Lagos State government completed the first phase of the Onje Eko initiative, which took place in 57 local government areas and local council development areas. According to the state government, the success and wide acclaim of the first phase of the project has shown the substantial impact such initiatives can have on improving the lives of residents. Residents have stormed Owosheni Primary School, Osho, the local government area, one of the locations of the temporary market. Security officers were stationed to maintain orderliness as the people queued to purchase food items. Some of the food items made available by the Lagos State government for sale are eggs, rice, beans, garri, bread, as well as perishables. They praised the state government for the palliative measure which allows them to purchase food items at 25% discount.
If I should rate this experience on a scale of 1 to 10, 2 over 10. Number 1, the setting is a no for me. When they say Onje Eko, as in, it's supposed to be a well-organized stuff. This place is an open place. Some people, they are carrying their newborn baby under the sun, no space to sit. See people the way they are going from one place to another. And I believe our government, they have a lot of work to do because in this kind of settings, they are supposed to make this place conducive. When they say free food, we are supposed to pay, right? But I believe the way it's not properly taken, as in they didn't really organize this place well. To me, they didn't really organize this place well, but they still have a lot of work to do. And the crowd is very, very much. The crowd is very much. So I believe they have a lot of, though they are trying their best, but when they say something cheaper, at least make it conducive. So that when you come, it's not as if you stay. Some people, they'll be standing for hours, an hour, 2 hours. You see elderly people, they didn't even make attempt. Okay, people they are carrying newborn baby, elderly men, elderly women, pregnant women. So they're supposed to make efforts on those kind of people. So that's all I have to say. Actually, it's cheaper. From my own experience, last week I went to make my findings on egg. They said it's 5,000. So coming here, egg is 3,600. So the difference is there. But before you can even get one of 3,600, you have to sweat before you can get the one of. So if you look at it, to me, I would prefer the one of 5,000 because coming here at the end of the day, I will stand on the queue for hours. I won't get it. So what's the next thing for me to do? Is for me to go for the one of 5,000. Though it's not as if the money is not there, but at least the one of 5,000 okay by me because of the crowd and everything.
If someone wants to get like 2 to 3 items, hence you get a point where you will pay. You can easily pay that place and have your receipts than to pay here and go to here and pay here and go to here. That is the stressful something I see inside. Normally it's cheap. It's cheap. Quite all right. It's 100% cheap outside there. Like rice is different of 400 outside than this. Even the beans also. Everything, even tomatoes, onions, is very cheap. It's okay. I like the I like the idea the government brought for it. It's so good. Well, only that to get it is so stressful because of the queue. People are much. It's 5 kg. Like the rice is 5,000 plus. Even the beans 9,000 plus. In fact, the rate is okay by me. Not doubting something on it. It's real. It's real. You people should be coming. I have got my own item. This is it.
If you say enjoy, I don't know about that. But all I know is that at least I have an opportunity to buy at a discounted prices. That is it. But the fact that I'm enjoying it, not really, because it's stressful. The ease of being able to have access to the market is one thing that they need to look into as far as logistics is concerned. Because our people now, we are very difficult people to manage. So if you don't create a system, that will at least reduce or eliminate, people cheating, and having their means to buy easily without having to cheat on somebody else's, rights. It will be a lot, good. Because coming here, you have to move from one place to another. Having bought from a particular, place, you have to go and start all over again from the beginning, which is not, mostly convenient for people. Had it been there's a case whereby once it gets to your turn, that ends you the right to move from one place to another to buy whatever you want to buy. It will make a lot of sense than this, disorganized, arrangements. And then there is this issue of a man who knows who you know ahead. So if you know somebody knows somebody, you can easily, have your way ahead. And we have heard about cases where some people are even hoarding it. They buy from here, they go and resell. And then people that really want to buy to eat are not having access to it. So that's one of the challenges that they need to look into. Definitely, of course, like they have some rules. You get to some places, they will tell you they cannot sell more than 2 kg, they cannot sell more than 1 kg. If they can adhere to that strictly, then it's going to help, to curtail, such wrong habits. The process is always hectic. It's just a case of, first come, first served. That's the way it's supposed to be. You come in, you are delayed at the gate to wait for your turn. While you are waiting, some people are going behind, to get into the queue. When it gets into your turn, you don't know where to start from. You get that now. You practically have to look for, places to start from. So when you start from a particular place and you get to the front and you're able to buy, you have to go and start all over again from another place, which is very, very discouraging, for some people. God forbid, we have people fainting. We have people collapsing, on the queue if care is not taken. But if they know that once, you are able to have patience and it gets to your turn, that gives you the right to move from one store to another to buy. It's better than having to go and start all over again from the beginning. So that's just one thing I think they need to improve on.
My experience with Onjeko is that Onjeko presently, as we buy here, as we purchase here, compared to what we purchase outside, is far, far, far discounted. Because, for example, now Gary outside there is like 3,500 naira per plastic, and now we are buying almost 2 plastic for 4,000 naira and 30 naira, which is almost a discount of close to 3,000 naira. So obviously, Lagos State is trying as per Onjeko. Yes, very well. On the aspect of what do they need to do more, they need to continue this because the level of hunger in the nation is on the high side presently, and they need to assist in continuing this program so that it can alleviate people's hunger, poverty for the time being, while the government restore the economy back to its state. Yes, as per the organization, personally, I will say the organization is being affected by we, the populace, and sometimes in an attempt to curb the people from, it may result to maybe violence or people start reacting that they are being aggressive to them. What I feel is that they should just continue to calm the people down and make the food more available so that people will be rest assured that even if I stay till 5 o'clock, I'll get whatever I want to get.
The temporary market is scheduled to run for 8 weeks across the 57 councils consisting of 20 local government areas and 37 local council development areas. Residents call for an increase in the number of vendors to cater for the growing number of people.
First of all, I want to appreciate the government under the governorship of Ajay Sanwo-Olu for this laudable initiative. Considering the current economic situation, it is innovative to actually think of this kind of intervention. However, as we know, of course, anytime there's something like this, there will be very large, turnouts due to the discounts. You understand? So there are so many people that are here to benefit. I'm also here to patronize, to get food items on a cheaper rate. And then that is why we are here. And there are so many other people also here trying to get the same thing. There are so many people, and the vendors are not enough to cater for the large volume of people that are here. So if I'm to advise, if they can increase the number of vendors, because there are so many people that are coming in, trooping in, and there will be so many people that will still be coming in because of the discount. So I want to suggest that they should increase the number of vendors, and then they should try to make it more, accessible to the people.
Well, I'm here to get rice, beans, gari, and egg. So even though I've not gotten it, but I believe that I should be able to get it before I leave today.
I got here exactly at 8 a.m. and this is already 1 p.m. and I have not gotten anything yet. Some people are not following the due process at all. In short, there are some people buying 4 crates of eggs at once, and some people will still be good and resell it to our fellow Nigerians. And such actions are totally wrong. The government has set up this laudable initiative for the masses, but the citizens are now abusing it. The food items made available are good, but the organization of the temporary market is not well planned out. It's my first time here and I am not pleased with what I'm seeing. The state government should amend the process and call the staff of the program to order. So they can also join the people on the queue, so as to understand the stress ordinary citizens are going through before buying these food items. In short, I don't think I will visit the market again because it is not conducive at all for me. However, I will not dispute the fact that state government has really done something outstanding for Lagosians.
The head of the Sunday market under the Oshodi local government says that all complaints made by the people will be addressed by the state government.
The process is very simple. This is an initiative of our amiable governor, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, to address the hunger in the land. You simply come in with your ATM. There is no cash transaction. So we have engaged vendors already. So you come in, you pay for for an item you are buying. You are actually entitled to buy all the items. The only thing is that you cannot buy more than 1 crate of egg, 5 kg of rice, 5 kg of beans, 5 kg of gari. You can buy 2 loaves of bread, and then you can buy the perishables like attache rodo. You don't need to know anybody. Just come in with your ATM and you'll be attended to. But you have to be orderly. As you can see, people are on queue and they are being attended to. Those people that are even pregnant, we deliberately take them out of the queue and take them to the voucher section and they are attended to. Those that are backing baby, we also attend to them. The elderly one, we give them preference so that they won't be on the queue. Those that are visibly sick, like when I was at the rice section the other time, there was an elderly woman, she was coughing vigorously. We attended to her immediately. So we give preference to this set of people. But we also guide against people that try to pretend. You understand? You cannot pretend and be coughing just anyhow so that they can attend to you. No, there's a way in which we design that one. But someone is blind now, someone is physically challenged, we quickly attend to them. Just they enjoy the same privilege, only that their own is going to be faster than that of other. What we expect from people as they come in is for them to be orderly. Just take their ATM and go and join the queue, because those that are in front of you, some of them have been here for 30 minutes. So you cannot just come at a go and feel you should be attended to. You have to wait for your turn. That's the way we do it, so that we can all go on time. Ideally, the market is between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. So, but if we still have goods to sell beyond 5 p.m., sometimes we stay beyond that time. So if at any point in time we discover that a particular item finishes, there is nothing else you can do but to close for that particular market for that day, and you face all other items. Actually, we all know that there is hunger in the land. If you see the first day, people aren't as much as you can see today. The second market day, there was an improvement, but today, being the third market day, the crowd is massive. So we are working on that to make sure that we have more vendors to address this issue. But honestly speaking, people are enjoying it, as you can see them coming and going out. We believe this will reduce the hunger in the land. We are grateful to the governor. We are grateful to the Commissioner of Agric, Ms. Abisola Olusoya. Also grateful to our permanent secretary, Mr. Audrey Emmanuel.
To enhance accountability and convenience, the state government made sure the transactions were done with the use of debit cards. They also urged residents to be orderly at respective markets, as adequate security will be provided to ensure each free transactions throughout the period.
Welcome back. Wow, that is commendable for real. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, in his magnanimous nature, has shown indeed that he cares about Lagos State residents' welfare. Everything that has a beginning has an end. Well, this is where we'll wrap up today's program. See you next time, and bye for now.
Ayetoro community is a theocratic communist setting funded by a group of believers known as the Apostles in 1947. Ayetoro community in its heydays has the largest per capita income in the whole of West Africa. Initially, Ayetoro community was 15 to 20 kilometer landmass away from the sea. But as it stands now, more than 10 kilometers of the total landmass has gone into the sea. And this frequent surge is attributed to emission from multinational oil companies off the coasts of our land, not minding the environmental challenges and disasters.
This is a community established in one of the Nigeria base. A lot of people you see in the offshore were trained here, both mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, and nautical engineer were trained in this bush. Yes, this bush, I call this place bush. And this is the Shepherd Technical Workshop approved by the IWD, which is now Minister of Transport. IWD means the Inland Waterway Department. That is the colonial time.
This place is like small London. So, and our primary occupation here is fishing. You can see now, everything now has been eroded. Some of our fishermen, they have went to other places to find for their source of livelihood.
It's just a sudden that we have been experiencing sea culture coming every day by day. And since that time, we have been making effort to the federal government because we are law-abiding citizens. We believe that we cannot engage ourselves in a radical ways because we believe that by protesting, writing letters, federal government can come to our aid. By the videos, a lot of things we have been doing since we have been expressing the sea church.
I'm shooting. That area, that is the iconic worship center. Yeah, that wood. That is the iconic worship center. Over there, we have the community service center here. Over there. Then at the same time, the major streets where other minor streets were linked to has been permanently submerged by the ocean surge.
I'm seriously worried. I'm worried because this recurrency surge is affecting us in virtually all human aspects of our life. Social life has been collapsed, economic-wise has been collapsed, health-wise, nothing to sing and dance home about. Even our religious activities, our life, religious life, has been collapsed totally. Because Ayeto community is a religious setting. The church moved here. We have not just come here to trade or to do other activities. The church is the community is the church. So every aspect of our life has been totally, damaged by this current, recurring sea surge happening in Ayeto. Over 20 years, we've been into this. People have lost, several properties worth millions. Buildings has collapsed. Over 500 to 600 to 700 buildings have been washed away. Our industrial power has been collapsed. Ayeto community is known to be a self-developed community on its own, without any intervention of the federal government or the state government over the years. Yet we kept on going. If by now the ocean surge, as a result of the oil exploration that is going on in our offshore, is destroying our land. Up till now, we cannot see the hand of the government coming to help and to rescue us. It is so sad, and that's why I'm worried.
Ṣé ẹ bá wo gbogbo ibi ilé ló kún bẹ̀, gbogbo ilé yẹn ni òkun ti parẹ́ pátápátá. Bó dẹ̀ ṣe ń wó ilé yẹn ló ń wó gbogbo àwọn ohun àlùmọ́nì wa, àwọn ohun tí a ní ilé, ẹrù wa, ìmíì gan tó bá ń wo báyìí tí a bá tètè dìsámúra àti gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀, ó gbé gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ nìyẹn.
Fund the trip of those guys down here. Trip of those guys down here.
This thing is excruciating, it is extreme. In fact, every blessed day, people used to die because of the thinking that the community that was founded at their present has been eroded. So it is extreme, it is serious, it is harrowing.
My father's house happened to be the extreme house before the Atlantic Ocean. We lost it 2017. 2007, that was when we lost it. It's highly devastating. Even the one that belonged to my grandmother, we lost it. That was along primary school road. We lost it too. So I've been affected. I'm highly devastated. Now I'm a tenant in my hometown. Imagine how is it? Highly devastating. We need support of the entire world to save this community. Ayeto community is a community that must not go into extinction. It's a very serious situation.
So the community is divided into two, the up and the down. So the up is reserved for the male. Why do that? Because they want them to access the sea quickly because of the occupation they engage in. Then the downside is reserved for the female, so that they can dry their fishes, because the Atlantic breeze is coming from the up, so that the smoke will not disturb the community from up. That was why they situated the downside for the women, so that their kitchen can be downside. So we have Bale, Abejoye, Korodun Aneroye, Adedoyin, Alebiosun, Bishop, Arojolu. Then so after Arojolu, you have the information house, or the glass house as we used to call it.
So where's the glass house now?
It's gone already.
Some months already. That is where all the information regarding the Ayeto community, people come in just like you came now. All the information you buy your trip, what you are going to do, when you are going to, you go back, so it will be documented before you go into the community. That was how it was done then. Then the city hall or civil center, there too, all of them have gone. After the city hall, you have Ojomo Street is gone too. So behind Ojomo, we have the church building, the church street and the church building It's gone already. Anyway.
And that church is very important.
Very
to this
important.
community.
That is where they situated that night of January 12, 1947. They situated when they came in. Now we have Akinjoye, we have Ajayi. Then in Ajayi Street, you have the first Ogeloyinbo Palace built with wood. So that one is gone too. We have the Olowojayi. Then after Olowojayi, you have the shoe making industry.
There used to be a
shoemaking industry. One of the industry, a small scale industry. Then behind the shoemaking industry, you have the clothing making industry too. So that one too is gone. So we have after Olowojayi, behind it is the shoemaking and the clothing making. We have Olowo Topa Oyinbo. We have Omogbenwa. Then after Omogbenwa, we have the carpentry workshop. So the carpentry workshop too is currently threatened. Half of it is gone into into the sea. And then you have Tobase. Then after the Tobase street there, you have a mini supermarket. There's a mini supermarket there. So after the mini supermarket is where you have Oyetomi Street. So from the upside,
where's the mini supermarket?
This is just behind the what's it called?
But it's still there.
We can still find it there. So after the what's called the mini supermarket, you have Oyetomi Street. So from the main side now, the main streets, Oyetomi Street is the only surviving street you can find up.
And it's been threatened.
It's threatened. In almost we only have just 2 buildings.
That is where my mother's father's house was situated, and it has been eroded.
Just 2 houses.
And your fear now is that this side, where the female side might be affected. So it's like everybody has moved to this side now.
Yes. So most of the male now, they are actually residing with their wives.
With their wives.
Their wives. So the Oyetomi is the only one that you see. Then from the downside where you have the
and this broad street is no longer existing.
It's gone completely. It's gone completely. Where you can have the broad street, the beauty of the broad street now, it's around the Block Palace. That's where you can have the beauty of the broad street.
Okay.
How it looks like.
Tí ẹ bá wo ọ̀hún yẹn, chọ́ọ̀chì wa gangan the main church táwọn baba ńlá wa kọ́ ó ti wo àtúnkọ́ mi ó tún wo.
The church is where all the inhabitants of this land we gather to worship God, because that was the revelation our forefathers received. This place is a Christian utopian religious community for the service of God.
It has actually changed the landscape totally. Let me put it that way. Why do I say so? It's because when you look at the land mass, as at when our founding fathers came here, 1947, it is about 20 or 10, 15 kilometers to the shore. So people had to trek. I think Dr. Noge wrote a book about Ayeto community, that the only challenges that the fishermen, because Ayeto is known for fishing, the only challenges that they are having, it is the accessibility to the shore too. That is as at that time, and it's been a long time. So it has actually changed the landscape, and we are worried about it.
This is the Community Technical College. Here we are. Now you can see now these are debris, has been ravaged by the sea surge. Now that place, that is the bakery that we are using before. This last month, the sea surge has ravaged this place, and we've relocated to another place. So it is serious. That is the powerhouse generating plants. It has been affected, greatly affected by those sea surge. We also have dockyard over there where marine boats were built in the past. That place has been submerged as well. So nothing to write home about in the community again. All our social, cultural activities has gone. The secondary schools has been relocated for about 3 consecutive times now. Nothing again.
If urgent intervention is not coming any moment from now, the community will no longer in existence because 2/3 of the community has gone already.
My fears is that if something reasonable, prompt action is not taken on the part of government to salvage this land, perhaps we might. We don't pray for such anyway. The community might go into extinction. We don't want that because Ayeto community has helped the federal government, even the West Africa, in terms of marine. Because when Ayeto was having a technical school, the Ayeto community has trained experts in marine engineering, in nautical engineering, and they are serving all the multinational companies that we can see in our offshore. Ayeto community has built the largest fishing boat in the history of Nigeria and West Africa. It was built here by the local carpenter, and those people that even built those deep boats, they were still alive. Check Fishing News International, is there.
If prompt and urgent action is not taken within, let me say, within the space of 2 months, where we stand here will no longer be. So, and that is why we are appealing to the federal government as a matter of urgency and exigency to please come to our rescue, so that Ayetoro is a historic community, so that it will not become a thing of history. That is our appealing. We are appealing to the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Dito Sopadek, Ondo State Oil Producing Area Development Commission, to please come to our rescue, so that this glorious community will not become a thing of history.
So we are begging the federal government, we are begging the international community, we are begging NDDC, we are begging all relevant agencies to please come to our aid.
Apá wa ò ká o, kàn jọ kàn má jẹ́ kó kùn yìí kó gbé wa lọ, gbogbo ilé ibi iṣẹ́ wa, gbogbo ilé ìsìn tá ń pè chọ́ọ̀chì, gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ti wó.
I'm now appealing to the state government, federal government, and the world to give what we call immediate action on this community. If you were here about 20 years back, we will tell you the extension of this place. You can't believe.
Many thanks for joining us again on the newsroom. I am Victoria Akonde, and these are the headlines we're tracking at the moment. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has presented certificate of return to the winner of the Edo State governorship election, Monday Okpebolo, of the All Progressives Congress, APC. The ceremony took place at the INEC headquarters in Abuja on Thursday. INEC declared Okpebolo winner of the Saturday, September 21st election after polling 291,667 votes to beat his closest contender, Asuwe Godalo of the People's Democratic Party. Now, the House of Representatives on Thursday resolved to investigate the allegations against the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the Nigeria Correctional Services over the prosecution and imprisonment of popular cross-dresser Bobrisky. The resolution followed a motion of urgent public importance by Honorable Patrick Umo. Umo expressed concern about the negative image and portrayal of Nigeria as a corrupt nation. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Senate on Thursday passed into law a bill establishing the Southwest Development Commission. The passage was the aftermath of a report presented to the Committee of the Whole by Senator Shehu Lawakaka, representing Borno Central Senatorial District and chairman of the Senate Committee of Special Duties. Kaka, in his presentation of the report for the establishment of the Southwest Development Commission, said the intentions and purposes of the bill are well structured for socio-economic development of the Southwest. And the National Agency for Food, Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has frowned at the high level of fake, substandard and falsified drugs across the nation. Speaking in Ibadan, the NAFDAC Zonal Director, Roslyn Ajayi, said survey has shown that the level of prevalence of substandard and falsified products is high across the nation, saying their concern is how to bring this prevalence to the barest minimum. In the world of business, Nigeria's presidency has said the Nigerian Port Authority and the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency plans to begin the collection of fees in Naira rather than in United States dollars or other foreign currencies. The special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, disclosed this during a briefing at the State House. He noted that the proposal was part of the Economic Stabilization Bill sent to the National Assembly. On the foreign scene, thousands of mourners stood before rows of small white coffins on Thursday at the memorial service for 21 children who died in boarding school fire in central Kenya earlier this month. The coffins were topped with bouquets of flowers and photographs of the young boys from Hillside and Darashi Academy, most between 9 and 13, trapped in their dormitory. And finally, on sports, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, on Thursday confirmed that Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania will co-host the 2024 African Nations Championship, CHAN. The competition will be played between February 1st and February 28, 2025. CAF said that the host stadiums and training venues will be confirmed in due course. These are the major stories from our newsroom at this moment. We'll keep you updated at the top of the hour, and I am Victoria Akonde. See you next time.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators.
It's a pleasure to have you join us on another episode of Money Matters on TV360 Nigeria. I am Okpeyemi Owushini. Telecommunications operators in Nigeria are set to begin disconnecting mobile lines that are not linked to National Identification Numbers (NIN) following the expiration of the September 14th deadline set by the Nigerian Communications Commission in August. The NCC announced that from September 15th, no SIM card will remain active without a verified NIN. Subscribers who had not completed the NIN SIM linkage were urged to visit their service providers to resolve any verification issues before the deadline. According to March 2024 data, there are 219 million active mobile lines, of which 153 million lines have been linked to NINs, leaving approximately 66 million lines at risk of disconnection. Now, this follows a temporary barring of millions of lines in July 2024 due to unverified NINs, which caused significant disruption before the NCC reversed its decision and extended the deadline. However, with the grace period now over, the disconnections will now proceed according to the NCC. A total sum of 1.03 trillion naira June 2024 Federation account revenue has been shared with the Nigerian government, state and local government councils in the country. The revenue was shared at the September 2024 meeting of the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee held in Abuja and chaired by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun. This was disclosed in a statement by the FAC spokesperson for the Accountant General of the Federation, Bawa Mokwa. He explained that the 1.03 trillion total distributable revenue comprised distributable statutory revenue of $186.36 billion, value-added tax revenue of $535.895 billion, electronic money transfer levy revenue of $15.017 billion, and exchange difference revenue of $468.245 billion naira. We'll take a short break now and be back with more stories in the corporate world. Welcome back. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has released the estimated petrol prices for its retail station across the country following purchases from the Dangote refinery. In a statement by its Chief Corporate Communications Officer Olufemi Shoneye, NNPC disclosed that it is buying premium motor spirit from Dangote in the US dollar for the month of September, with sales in Naira set to begin in October 2024. The estimated price in Lagos is around 950 naira 22 kobo per litre, with other states seeing prices as high as 1,000 naira in Borno. NNPC clarified that petrol prices are determined through negotiations as per the Petroleum Industry Act and not as set by the government. NNPC further noted that if any discounts are secured from Dangote refinery, they will be passed on to consumers. Pricing in other states include 999.22 kobo in Kano and Sokoto, 960 naira 22 kobo in Oyo State, and 980 naira 22 kobo in Rivers and Imo State. And the Group Managing Director of United African Company, Fola Ayesimoju, has stated that the company had to increase prices by an average of 75% to 100% to sustain profit margins. He explained this during the investor call on the company's financial performance in the first half of 2024. The Managing Director disclosed that the 75% to 100% increase varies from product categories. Now, in the past 1 year, inflation in Nigeria has risen to a 28% high, with consumer goods section the worst hit as food inflation soared to 40% as of June 2024. Now, in response to this, major consumer goods brands from beverages to food and household products have been forced to adjust prices to mitigate against eroding profit margins in their organizations. We'll take a short break now, but when Money Matters returns, we'll be discussing inflation rates declining for the second consecutive month in 2024. I'll bring you details of this after the short break.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
Wait. Do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the go-to app.